Fabulous.
Ask a question.
The balance of having to be a female in this very masculine environment, it's not foreign to her to begin with, so it's not a case of like, ooh, it's so testosterone driven here. All of that personal stuff that usually prickly human friction that one could feel, or personal emotional stuff, when the enormity of a situation like this occurs, one has to imagine that a lot of that stuff gets put on the back burner.
Learning process. My father served in World War II, and so for me to be able to, in my own pretend way, step into his shoes is, a dream come true, really.
They took us out to sea for 3 days, and that was a pretty interesting experience. And, ran some torpedo evasion drills and shot the 5-inch cannon for us. It was pretty awesome.
Well, that's what's so funny is originally we had a funeral on the pilot for Frankie. And we had a character, pastor, do the eulogy or the ceremony, and we said, why cast a guy for one small part? You're never going to get the best person for the job necessarily. And we thought, he's got the gravitas, he's got the voice, he's got the demeanor, and it sort of developed in the pilot that he would become that guy. And also, it became just a great thing for his character to have that ability to be the spiritual leader as well as the leader of, not in a denomination, just right. Anybody who wants to think about a higher power, now's the time.
We dove in all the way, and we've had Navy personnel, every different kind of personnel you can imagine. They've been on set with us the entire time. They've been helping us guide the storylines. They've been helping us authenticate our performances. What's beautiful about the Navy is, I feel like since we got to work so close with them, it was like we got to plug into the source, and it just allowed us to live more of their life just from their presence. So I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about Navy SEALs, because Michael Bay's first request to me was hang around the Navy SEALs on set and get to know them, breathe them in, and so I did. So I've become more educated than I ever thought I would about the Navy.
Shoot there, we shot the entire pilot on the ship, and then for the series we built sets, because you can't ask the Navy to give you a ship for 6 months. They've got other things they got to do, like defend and liberate the world.
Stay away from me. And now that's become a hashtag thing on Twitter. I have hashtag, I love you, stay away from me. It's a complicated relationship, and it's a complicated scenario, because all of us, within our fabric, there's love. And all of us want love, and we yearn for love, and we need love. So to have found it, and to be drawn to someone, it's hard when that is the one thing that gets in the way of my responsibilities.
In LA, we have a joke like, there's a million ways to say F you, and none of them are actually using that word. Hey, congratulations. That means, on the ship. Hey, you got a deal. You sold that script. Good for you.
Yay!
In the Navy, there's a million ways of saying Roger that. Mm-hmm. Your captain says something you don't agree with, you're like, Roger that. He knows you're saying F you, but he knows you're being respectful, and he says, but you need to vent, that's the way. There's a way to do it. And so we showed a scene in Washington, D.C. in Pilot where the couple sneak a kiss. And in any other movie, that would be no big deal. The Navy was watching it, they all went, oh, because they knew that was a big thing.
She's carrying the greatest Fabergé egg that the planet or any human being has ever come across, ever, and is trying to make sure that it doesn't break, and that she preserve whatever there is to preserve. And so I think that being a man or a woman doesn't really factor at this point. She's a human being who has a certain amount of knowledge, and she's been entrusted by the U.S. government and the Prime Minister, the President. I'm English. With this just overwhelmingly ridiculous task. It's a TV.
Our premiere in D.C. The Navy flew us out to Washington, D.C. They put on this big premiere for us, and so many Navy women and Navy men came. And after the screening, we had a captain and his 2 daughters. All of them were in the Navy. They approached Christina Elmore, and she plays the gay character. And both of the women are crying and saying, "Thank you for representing 2 gay women in the Navy." Because it really tapped into who they were and what they've struggled with. So to me, that's the greatest moment, is when we can have someone from the outside tell us that what we're doing is affecting people in a positive way. Because that's the whole point of art in the first place, and the whole point of what we're doing. So to know that our reach extends further than we might know, that is motivating as hell for me. The cliffhanger of our season, it's gonna throw everyone on their ass. First,
The long-term plan is to save the world. But there's a lot of saving and repairing to do, and so that saving the world and putting the world back together can take many different forms and shapes. And that was why when I heard the idea, I thought,